Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network. Today, via tape delay from the Terry Mulholland baseball field here in Hutchinson, it's Pony League baseball time as the Connellsville Kissel team meets the HARC Pony Mets. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Morozak with Jerry Dupain. We welcome you aboard for today's game. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Jerry Dupain. We'll be back with the first pitch after this message.
Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, is proud to be a sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network. They have been serving the area with quality work and integrity for more than 40 years, and they would like to again thank their past customers and look forward to serving new customers as well. Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, works with all insurance companies and provides assistance with car rental arrangements that coordinate with the auto repair work. The rental company will meet with you at our facility to accommodate your rental needs. As a member of the DuPont Assurance of Quality program, our refinishes are guaranteed and all repairs have a lifetime warranty as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, clearly recognizes and understands the current and ever-changing atmosphere that exists in today's collision repair and insurance industries. So please contact Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, located at Atlas Road in Hopwood. That's Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, offering complete collision service for both domestic and foreign vehicles for more than 40 years. For more information, please stop by or call us at 724-437-2351. We care about the environment. We've always been eco-friendly facility, and we are currently going through the process of being recognized by the U.S. EPA's Design for the Environment program.
For all of your auto body needs, come to Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, because there is a difference.
So please contact Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, located at Atlas Road in Hopwood. That's Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, offering complete collision service for both domestic and foreign vehicles for more than 40 years. For more information, please stop by or call us at 724-437-2351.
Back here at the Mulholland Field in Hutchinson, it's Pony League baseball time. The Kissel team from Connellsville taking on the HARC Mets. Let's set the Kissel team's lineup. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 33, Jamison McPoyle. Batting second and catching, Matt Onesco. Jake Pearl will bat third. In the cleanup spot is Seth Coons. Gage Goodwin will bat fifth. Christian Little batting sixth. Tyler Fasella batting seventh. Billy Metz batting eighth. And batting ninth, Brendan McLaughlin. So it'll be Jamison McPoyle that'll step in for the Kissel team from Connellsville, entering this game with a 3-3 overall record. Their head coach is Bruce Pearl. Garrett Myers on the mound for the HARC Mets, and the first pitch is inside for ball one. We'll set the HARC Mets defense here in just a moment. The 1-0 from Myers. High again, now 2-0. In the outfield, it's Matt Dudley in the left, Kevin Zaron in center, and Parker Georgiana in right. As Myers gets set here with the 2-0 to McPoyle. That ball inside and low for ball three. Around the horn, Jarrett Dempsey at third, Alex Guest gets short. Dalton Stanzik at second, and Kenny Lewis on first. Garrett Myers pitching, Creed Potkull catching in the 3-0, low and inside for ball four. So a four-pitch walk issued to Jamison McPoyle, and the Kissel team from Connellsville in business here in the top half of the first inning. Bernie Maniac calling the balls and strikes here today. Chuck Pillar, your base umpire. Matt Onesco now stepping in, catching today for the Connellsville team. Throw over to first and picked off at first, Jamison McPoyle. So Myers catching McPoyle off guard. McPoyle was actually moving to his right when Myers fired the ball over to first, and just like that, one away here in the top half of the first inning is Myers' first pitch to Onesko in there for a strike, 0-1. It's not the typical way you see the first out recorded in a game, but works this time for the HARC Mets as Onesko fouls off the 0-1, count now at 0-2. The HARC Mets, coached by Brian Potkel, entering this game with a 4-7 overall record. Now the 0-2, Myers to Onesko, breaking ball high. Count now moves to 1-2. The Kissel team from Connellsville, almost a little short-handed entering this game. They had to wait for one late arriving player. Our game was delayed just a couple of minutes, but everyone here, and they have 9 in the lineup. The HARC Mets with 10 in the lineup today. They'll have one sub. Now Myers set with the next pitch to Matt Onesko. Onesko fouling it off, having to protect the plate with 2 strikes on him. Now Onesko will dig back in. And Myers 2-2. That one hop, but actually caught Onesko in the foot. So Onesko hit by the pitch. He'll take first. And the Kissel team back with a base runner again, with one out here in the top half of the first inning, and Jake Pearl coming to the plate. Pearl playing second base today for Connellsville. Now Myers, the lefty, out of the stretch. Runner going, pitch fouled off. And the count moves to 0-1. Of course, Myers a clean look over at Matt Onesko over at first base. And we'll see if Onesko is aggressive again on the base path. It's not much of a lead, though, as of now, off of first. And Myers just going to make sure he stays on that bag. Checks him quickly. Count at 0-1. Now Myers set with the 0-1 again to Pearl. High and outside, hops away there from the catcher Potkel. And advancing down to second is Matt Onesko. So Onesko now in scoring position. The count 1-1 to Jake Pearl. Myers 1-1 pitch. Pearl fouls it off. Count now at 1-2. Myers ready again. Glances back at second. 1-2 to Pearl, breaking ball, and that one fouled off of Pearl. And that ball catching Pearl where the sun doesn't shine. I'll try to shake that one off. Count remains at 1-2. The next pitch from Myers. Pearl pops it up right back to the HARC Mets pitcher Garrett Myers, who makes the grab for the second out of this top half of the first inning. Now Seth Coons will come to the plate. With the Connellsville Kissel team being a little bit short, Coons actually making his way over from another one of the Pony teams to fill in today, and he takes the first pitch here for a strike from Garrett Myers. Now Myers set with the 0-1 to Coons. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Runner, though, advancing down to third. That's Matt Onesko. And now 2 strikes on Seth Coons. But Bruce Pearl, the Connellsville manager, must have some confidence in Coons, who again joined the team to allow the Kissel team to have 9 here today. The 0-2 just missing low as the count moves to 1-2 with Coons batting from the cleanup spot, number 4 in the Connellsville batting order and playing first base here today. And now Myers 1-2 here to Coons. Breaking ball misses outside to even the count at 2-2. Myers again ready for the 2-2 pitch here. Brings the heat, but the pitch misses high, and we'll go full 3-2 with Matt Onesco on third and 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. Connellsville trying to score the game's first run. 3-2 on the way, and that pitch is high for ball 4. So give Seth Coons a lot of credit to work himself back into the count and eventually draw a 2-out walk here against Garrett Myers. Second walk of the inning issued to Connellsville batters. And Coons actually the third base runner. Matt Onesco was hit by a pitch. McPoyle and Coons walking, and now Gage Goodwin comes to the plate, takes ball 1, and Coons advances down to second with no throw at all from Creed Potkel and the HARC Mets. So now runners on second and third. The 1-0 pitch to Goodwin is in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Goodwin playing center field today for the Connellsville Kissel squad. Now the 1-1 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1-2 now. Garrett Myers to Gage Goodwin as we work here in the top half of the first inning. Now runners on second and third for Connellsville. But 2 strikes on Gage Goodwin with 2 outs here in the inning. And now the 1-2 from Myers, and Goodwin chops this to first. Nice defensive play made there by Kenny Lewis to step on the bag and record the third out of the inning, 3 unassisted, as the Connellsville Kissel squad strands 2, and we're scoreless headed to the bottom half of the first inning here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Back here at the Mulholland Field, scoreless heading to the bottom half of the first inning. Kevin Zaron, Alex Gesk, and Kenny Lewis do up for the HARC Mets. Top of the order will set their batting lineup in just a moment. Jamison McPoyle on the mound for the Kissel squad from Connellsville. And the first pitch to Kevin Zaron is high and inside for ball 1. It's Zaron leading off, Gesk batting second, Kenny Lewis batting third. Garrett Myers in the cleanup spot, Creed Potkel batting 5th, Jarrett Dempsey batting 6th, Matt Dudley batting 7th, Dalton Stanzik batting 8th, Parker Georgiana batting 9th, and Dante Delverne, the designated hitter, batting 10th. HARC batting 10 today. The Connellsville Kissel squad with only 9 in the lineup. 1-0 pitch here, fouled off by Zaron. Evens the count at 1-1. And the HARC Mets 4-7 entering play today. Brian Potkel, their head coach. And now McPoyle sent with a 1-1 here to Zaron. And McPoyle taking his time. Now will deliver, and the pitch high and inside. Count now moves to 2-1. Defensively for the Kissel squad, it's Brandon McLaughlin in left, Gage Goodwin in center, and Tyler Fasella out in right field. Billy Metz playing third. Jamison And actually, one correction here. It's Christian Little, on the mound for Connellsville, not McPoyle. McPoyle playing short. Little on the mound. Jake Pearl, playing second. And Seth Coons playing first. I apologize. And Matt Onesco catching for the Connellsville squad. Next pitch missing there to Kevin Zaron from Christian Little. Now Little set again. Next delivery to Zaron, and Zaron, a nice shot here. Getting past the outstretched reach of Jake Pearl into right center field. Play made there by Gage Goodwin. The leadoff single for Kevin Zaron. And the HARC Mets in business. Now Alex Gesk coming to the plate, playing shortstop today, wearing number 8, lefty. And a healthy lead off at first for Zaron. First pitch, high and outside, ball 1. For Zaron, plenty of speed on the base pass. We'll see how aggressive the HARC Mets are here in the bottom half of the first inning. Trying to get Zaron around. Now we'll step off, throw over to first. Back safely is Zaron. Little certainly tall and lanky. A long look in here to Alex Gesk. The first pitch to Alex popped up here on the left side. And the ball will drop just foul right behind the third baseman, Billy Metz. Actually, 2 strikes now on Alex Gesk. Another step off and a throw over to first. Back safely again is Zaron. Little again taking his time, runner going, and Gesk pops this one up. Getting under it and making the grab, the shortstop Jamison McPoyle for the first out of the inning. Retreating back to first is Kevin Zaron. Now 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Game still scoreless with Kenny Lewis coming to the plate. Lewis playing first base today for the HARC Mets. Zaron still about a 2 or 3 step lead off of first. And swinging at the first pitch and sending it deep to right center field is Kenny Lewis. And Lewis will have himself a stand-up double. Rounding third and on his way to the plate is Kevin Zaron, and will score the game's first run. Lewis now running down to third. The ball gets away from Billy Metz, and Lewis will score on the play as well. So it goes in the books as an RBI double for Kenny Lewis, but Lewis scores on the play after a throwing error. Kevin Zaron also scoring, and the HARC Mets 2 across here with 1 out in the bottom half of the first inning. And now Garrett Myers coming to the plate. The lefty who's opposing Christian Little here in this game. And they got the scoreboard working here at the Mulholland Field as well, which will certainly help me out the rest of the way. First pitch, a ball high and outside to Garrett Myers. Count at 1-0. Of course, Garrett's brother, J.C., a star pitcher about 10 years ago for Laurel Highlands. He was a senior for the 2007 Mustangs team that advanced to the WPIAL quarterfinals before they were knocked out against Blackhawk, a game played up at Gateway High School. Count now 1-1 to Garrett Myers. And tough for many folks around the area to see the passing of Garrett's dad, Jimmy, a couple of months ago. The big supporter of youth baseball and worked for the United States Postal Service for many years as well around the area. Tough to see him go a few months ago. Count now 2-1 to Garrett Myers. And pitch from Little, and Myers, another big shot here to right center field. Having some trouble with it there is Fasella. But Fasella able to regroup, and Myers will hang out at first. But a one-out single to right for Garrett Myers. And the HARC Mets, a very productive inning so far, 2 already across. And now Myers on first with Creed Potko coming to the plate. Potko catching here today for the HARC Mets. Steps in. First pitch here is lined into center field. Potko even chased that one a little bit. The pitch would have been high. But Potko going up for it. Another productive at-bat for the HARC Mets. Potko the single to center. Myers advances down to second. Now runners on first and second with Jarrett Dempsey, the 6th Met, to come to the plate here in this bottom half of the first inning. Dempsey playing third base here today. Will take the first pitch for a strike from Christian Little. 0-1. I mentioned this Connellsville team. A little bit short-handed with Coons joining them from another Connellsville squad for the game today. And they also had Tyler Fasella, who was a little late in arriving. And they're trying to settle down here in the bottom half of the first inning defensively. Hard ground ball there from Dempsey right back to Little, who knocks it down but doesn't have a play. Now the base is loaded. I think you have to give Dempsey an infield single there. That's the 4th straight hit for the Mets and the 5th hit of the inning. 2 runs already across, and now the base is loaded for Matt Dudley, the Mets left fielder. Dudley, the 7th Met to come to the plate here in the bottom half of the first inning. And as Little and the Connellsville Kissel squad having their problems defensively. Swinging at the first pitch here, sending a ground ball to first. This could be 2. A 1-out recorded there by Coons, who makes the throw to the plate and skipped away there from Matt Onesco. So the run comes across, goes as a fielder's choice, 3 unassisted, RBI for Dudley. Scores Myers on the play. Now 3 runs across here in the inning and 2 outs with Dalton Stanzik coming to the plate. The Mets have certainly been aggressive at the plate, swinging at early pitches. It's worked out so far. Stanzik swinging and missing there at the first pitch from Christian Little, counted 0-1.
Hey, number 7. Number 7. Hey, number 7, back up. Thank you.
Now Little's 0-1. This one roped into center again. Having a little trouble with it out there is Goodwin. 2 runs will score on the play. Potko and Dempsey coming across. Single to center for Dalton Stanzik. Picks up 2 RBIs in the process. Now a little meeting here on the mound as Brian Potko will come out and have a little talk here with Christian Little and bring the whole infield in. 5 runs already across for the HARC Mets with 2 outs, and Parker Georgiana will be the 9th Met to come to the plate here in the bottom half of the first inning. We'll take a quick timeout here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Overwhelms you? Although you may feel that you're in a hopeless situation, Zebley, Mahalev & White can help. We're a full-service local bankruptcy firm that knows what a difficult time this is and what to do to help you get a fresh start. Call Zebley, Mahalev & White today for a free consultation. Your hometown bankruptcy firm. Call us today.
Don't borrow more money until you talk to Zebley, Mahalev & White.
The South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbauer would like to wish all the HARC baseball players good luck and have a fun baseball season this year.
We're back here at the Mulholland Field, 5-0. HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville. Still here in the bottom half of the first inning with Parker Georgiana at the plate. We'll throw down here to first. Not in time. First pitch missing for ball one to Parker Georgiana. Dalton Stanzik at first. 1-0 pitch here, in there for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. Georgiana, again, the 9th Met to bat here in the bottom half of the first inning. Little was 1-1, and this one nubbed over to first, making the play defensively. Coons recording the out, 3 unassisted. But the HARC Mets pick up 5 runs here in the bottom half of the first inning and lead it 5-0 as we head to the top half of the second here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Esophageal reflux affects 20% of Americans and can lead to heartburn, regurgitation, chest pain, and difficulty swallowing. Reflux is caused by stomach contents passing a faulty valve and entering the esophagus. Ulcers and precancerous tissue can then form. Doctors Ruthart, Calabrese, Stokes, and Ballou offer the latest testing and treatment for reflux disease. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Moving to the top half of the second inning, Christian Little, Tyler Fasella, and Billy Metz due up for the Kissel squad from Connellsville, and swinging and missing in the first pitch is Christian Little. Counted 0-1. The Kissel squad with 3 base runners in the top half of the first inning, but unable to score a run. Mets lead it 5-0. There's strike 2 to Christian Little from Garrett Myers. Now Myers set with the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Myers very effective there. 3 pitches to Christian Little, recording his first strikeout of the evening. Now 1 down here in the top half of the second inning, with the right fielder Tyler Fasella coming to the plate. Looks like we actually had a little change here in the Connellsville batting order. They'd given me Fasella ahead of Metz. It's actually Billy Metz ahead of Tyler Fasella in the batting order. Maybe that due to the fact that Fasella was a little late in arriving, but it's actually Metz at the plate, facing Garrett Myers here with 1 out. And the Connellsville team down 5-0. And drawing a 4-pitch walk there is Metz. So Myers strikes out Little on 3 pitches and now walks Metz on 4. And it'll be Brandon McLaughlin, who was originally supposed to bat 9th, shifted up to the 8th position. Playing left field today, so my scorebook already a mess, and we're only here in the top half of the 2nd inning. And we'll see how much Myers has his eye on Billy Metz over at first. First pitch missing inside for ball 1 to McLaughlin. So we have to assume Tyler Fasella will be batting 9th. The 1-0 in there for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. That ball sent foul on the right side, counting out 1-2. And Connellsville entering this game with a 3-3 record. It's certainly in an early hole here. Taking on the HARC Mets. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So McLaughlin, the second strikeout victim of the inning for Garrett Myers, and now 2 away with Tyler Fasella coming to the plate. So the late arrival getting Fasella but down to 9th in the batting order. And he'll take ball 1 here inside from Garrett Myers. Guess that's what happens when you arrive late. You get demoted. And they count at 1-1. Myers 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. Nice breaking ball there from Myers, and Fasella off balanced. And the 1-2 on the way, and that one just sent foul. Count remains 1-2. One, 2 on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Garrett Myers records 3 strikeouts in the inning. And the score remains 5-0, the HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville as we head to the bottom of the 2nd here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Back here for the bottom half of the 2nd inning, the HARC Mets jumping out to a 5-0 lead over the Kissel squad from Connellsville. The Mets sending 9 men to the plate in the bottom half of the 1st inning. Will be Dante Delverne, the designated hitter, leading off this bottom half of the 2nd inning. And then the top of the order due up again, and Kevin Zaron and Alex Gesk. But Delverne trying to get things started here for the Mets. The first pitch from Little, Delverne swings and pops it up here on the left side, getting under it and making the grab. Jamison McPoyle for the first out of this bottom half of the 2nd inning. And now Kevin Zaron coming to the plate. Zaron singled to right center field and scored a run back in the 1st inning. Mets trying to carry over some of that momentum And they gathered in the bottom half of the first inning over to the second frame. And Zeron swings and misses at the first pitch there from Little. Count at 0-1. Mets also getting a nice top half of the second inning with Garrett Myers recording 3 strikeouts. 0-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. Now 2 strikes on Kevin Zeron. Christian Little, Brendan McLaughlin, and Tyler Fasella were the 3 strikeout victims of Myers in the top half of this inning. Now Zeron having to protect the plate with 2 strikes on him. And Little's 0-2 pitch in there for strike 3. So Zeron gets punched out. First strikeout of the game for Christian Little. Got 2 away. You're in the bottom half of the second inning. And Alex Guest coming to the plate. Guest popped up to the shortstop, Jamison McPoyle, back in the first inning. The first pitch to the lefty is high for ball 1. You kind of get the feeling the Kissel squad from Connellsville is starting to settle down a little bit. I mentioned they were a little out of sorts to start this game with a late arriving player and only having 9 players available. Another nice pitch there from Little to even the count at 1-1 to Gesk. Now Little will wind and fire the 1-1 here to Gesk. Inside, almost clipping Alex. Count out 2-1. All dirt infield here at the Mulholland Field, in great shape. Haven't had that much precipitation over the last couple of days. Game time temperature 80 degrees, a little steamy in town today. Don't expect any precipitation tonight. 2-1 in there for a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Christian Little to Alex Gesk. Now Little with the 2-2 on the way. And Gesk powers this one to right field over the head of Tyler Fasella, back to the wall. Gesk now rounding second, on his way to third as the ball finally comes into the infield. And they're going to wave Gesk around with the throw coming in, and now he'll back and head back to third. So a 2-out triple to right field for Alex Gesk. And the Mets in business here in the bottom half of the second inning with Kenny Lewis coming to the plate. Lewis picked up an RBI double and scored a run back in the first inning. First pitch here from Little, low and inside for ball 1. Of course, first base open, so Little can pick his spots against Kenny Lewis. Expect the Mets to be aggressive as well with 2 outs here in the inning. Now the 1-0 here. Little to Lewis. That one went behind Lewis. Getting a friendly bounce was the catcher, Matt Onesco. Not allowing Alex Gesk to attempt to come home. But now a 2-0 count on Kenny Lewis. And the 2-0, swing and a miss. Got out 2-1. That might have been ball 3 right there. Lewis went a chasing of that one. And on those pitches, Gesk making his way about halfway down the line between third and home. Trying to play a little mind games there with Christian Little. Now the 2-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. Lewis swinging for the fences at the moment. Some nice cuts there, but unable to make contact with the last 2 pitches from Christian Little. Now Little's 2-2 to Lewis. And Kenny pops this one up on the left side. Getting under it is McPoyle, and he dropped it. So McPoyle unable to come up with the catch there. Goes in the books as an E6. Gesk will score on the play. That's the 6th run scored in this game for the HARC Mets, who now lead it 6-0. So with the late day sun being a little bit low, maybe that played havoc there with Jamison McPoyle, but nonetheless, another run across for the HARC Mets as Garrett Myers takes strike one here from Christian Little. Myers a single to right field and scored a run back in the first inning. Now with Kenny Lewis on first and 2 outs. 6 runs across in the game, 1 across already here in the inning for the HARC Mets. Now a little checking the runner and the ball getting away there from the first baseman, Seth Coons. It allows Kenny Lewis to get down to second. So the struggles continue for Connellsville. Now Myers with Lewis in scoring position. Lewis running again, why not? And he's into 30, and he might be coming home as the ball got away from Billy Metz. And coming across to score the 7th run of the game is Kenny Lewis. So the aggressive base running paying off for the HARC Mets. Count now 1-1. Christian Little to Garrett Myers with the bases now empty and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second inning. And the HARC Mets now leading it 7-0. Little now trying to get a little recomposed here on the mound for the Kissel squad from Connellsville. That pitch missing for ball 2. Now 2-1. Little to Myers. Another pitch missing outside. Got now 3-1. This one fouled off, and the ball actually getting stuck in the fence. We've seen that from time to time. Now the count full of 3-2. And 2 outs here in the inning, but the HARC Mets with 2 across in the inning, now leading at 7-0. And the payoff pitch fouled off again. You have to think maybe one of those foul balls into the screen there will knock the other ball loose that's lodged up there. The count remaining at 3-2. That pitch high for ball 4. So the Mets with another base runner and Garrett Myers. Second time that Myers has reached in this game. And now Creed Potkuhl, who singled to center field and scored a run back in the first inning, comes to the plate for the second time in this game. First pitch to Potkuhl in there for a strike. 0-1. The way this game's gone for the Mets, they certainly have to have a lot of confidence at this juncture. Up 7-0. They've picked up 7 hits as well already in this game. Toss in a couple of errors and a walk or 2. His hard ground ball hit to second, and a little flip records the out. Pearl to McPoyle. 4-6 to end the inning. But the Mets pick up another 2 runs. Now 7-0 Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville as we head to the top of the third here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Back for the top half of the third inning, a 7-0 lead for the HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville. It's the top of the order duo for Connellsville, Jamison McPoyle, Matt Onesco, and Jake Pearl. As McPoyle takes ball one. That's making a couple of changes defensively. Jared Dempsey and Matt Dudley switching positions. Dudley now playing third, and Dempsey out there in left field, and there's a shot from McPoyle dropping in front of and then past Kevin Zaron out there in center field. Be a stand-up double for Jamison McPoyle. And the Kissel squad from Connellsville in business to start this top half of the third inning. The second time that McPoyle's reached base safely. He walked and was picked off back in the first inning. Now Matt Onesco coming to the plate. Onesco was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Swings at the first pitch here and pops it up on the right side. This could be trouble, and it drops past Kenny Lewis. McPoyle advances down to third, and now runners on the corners with nobody out for the Connellsville Kissel squad. So Connellsville trying to bounce back. They're in a 7-0 hole right now, needing a big inning. Now Jake Pearl coming to the plate. Myers first pitch to Pearl, and Pearl a little nubber here on the left side, just going foul. Getting past Matt Dudley, who again is now playing third. We mentioned Dempsey and Dudley switching positions. The other defensive change for the Mets has Dante Delverne now playing second base this inning. Delverne was the designated hitter. He's in for Dalton Stanzik now at second base. So Jake Pearl trying to keep this rally going for the Kissel squad from Connellsville. Pearl popped up to Kenny Lewis back in the first inning. And swings here and sends a line drive past Alex Geskin to left field. Scoring on the play, Jamison McPoyle. On his way to third is Matt Onesco. Now on his way to second will be Jake Pearl. And the Kissel squad from Connellsville will now have runners on second and third. Still nobody out. A run coming across as McPoyle scores to cut the Mets lead to 7-1. So we'll give Pearl an RBI. Advances to second on the throw. And now Seth Coons will come to the plate. Coons walked back in the first inning. And Myers trying to keep his composure. That pitch missing low for a ball. And sometimes if you're a pitcher, when you have a 7-0 lead, you can tend to get a little bit too comfortable out there. Myers needs to stay aggressive and fires a nice pitch in there for a strike. Bringing the heat to Seth Coons. Now the 1-1, and Coons a chopper here right up the middle into center field. Scoring on the play is Onesco. Rounding third on his way to the plate is Jake Pearl. And Connellsville now with 3 runs across here in the top half of the third inning have cut into this Mets lead. It's now 7-3. So Coons picking up 2 RBIs there on the single to center field. Onesco and Pearl scoring on the play. And Connellsville right back into this game now. It's 7-3. Now Gage Goodwin coming to the plate. Pickoff throw over at first, and they're going to have Coons here in a rundown. Throw back to second. And they'll make the tag there. Coons ruled out. Second time that the Mets have picked off a Connellsville runner. Jamison McPoyle was picked off back in the first inning. So that results in a much-needed out defensively for the HARC Mets. First out recorded in the inning, and now Gage Goodwin at the plate. He'll swing at the first pitch here. Hard chopper to short. Alex Gesk throw over to first in time to Kenny Lewis to retire Gage Goodwin 6-3 for the second out of this top half of the third inning. Now Christian Little will come to the plate. Little, one of 3 strikeout victims so far in this game. Struck out swinging, facing Garrett Myers to lead off the top half of the second inning. Now comes to the plate for the second time and swings and misses here at the first pitch from Myers, counted 0-1. Little, the sixth Connellsville player to bat here in this inning. 0-1 pitch, low and inside, evens the count at 1-1. First of two scheduled games here today. The HARC Reds will meet the Cubs in the nightcap. 1-1 on the way. This pitch high and outside. Count now at 2-1. Another pitch missing high. Count now at 3-1. Garrett Myers to Christian Little. Myers working quickly. 3-1 on the way. Chasing that one is Little. Count now full, 3-2. Now Myers, payoff pitch to Christian Little. High for ball 4. So a 2-out walk issued to Little. Third walk of the game. Check that, fourth walk of the game issued by Myers, who also hit Matt Onesco. And Connellsville with another base runner with Billy Metz coming to the plate. Metz walked back in the second inning, throw over to first, and barely getting underneath that tag is Christian Little on the initial tag attempt made by Kenny Lewis. Lewis just missed Little, or he would have been out. So the Mets have done a nice job giving themselves an opportunity. And 2 runners already picked off, almost 3 there, and now maybe 3, but no, getting back barely again that time is Christian Little. He just might want to hang on the bag this time. Two close ones already. I wonder if he really wants to take his chances at this point. Not much of a lead there. And Myers comes home, but misses to Metz. Kind of 1-0. I think Little making sure right now he's all right. Doesn't have any scratches or bruises there as Metz goes a chasing at that pitch from Myers. Evens the count at 1-1. Little still trying to get some of the dirt off of him. Barely a lead off of first. 1-1 pitch. This is high and outside. Now 2-1. Garrett Myers to Billy Metz as we work here in the top half of the third inning. And the Mets leading the Kissel squad from Connellsville by a score of 7-3. 2-1 on the way in their first strike. Count now even at 2-2. A 2-2 fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. So that's the 4th strikeout of the game recorded by Garrett Myers. The Kissel squad, though, does pick up 3 runs to bounce back into this game. It's now 7-3. The HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville as we head to the bottom half of the third inning here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, is proud to be a sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network. They have been serving the area with quality work and integrity for more than 40 years, and they would like to again thank their past customers and look forward to serving new customers as well. Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, works with all insurance companies and provides assistance with car rental arrangements that coordinate with the auto repair work. The rental company will meet with you at our facility to accommodate your rental needs. As a member of the DuPont Assurance of Quality program, our refinishes are guaranteed and all repairs have a lifetime warranty as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, clearly recognizes and understands the current and ever-changing atmosphere that exists in today's collision repair and insurance industries. So please contact Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, located at Atlas Road in Hopwood. That's Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, offering complete collision service for both domestic and foreign vehicles for more than 40 years. For more information, please stop by or call us at 724-437-2351. We care about the environment. We've always been an eco-friendly facility, and we are currently going through the process of being recognized by the U.S. EPA's Design for the Environment program.
For all of your auto body needs, come to Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, because there is a difference.
So please contact Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, located at Atlas Road in Hopwood. That's Ted Sova Body and Fender Repair, LLC, offering complete collision service for both domestic and foreign vehicles for more than 40 years. For more information, please stop by or call us at 724-437-2351.
Back here for the bottom half of the third inning, a 7-3 lead for the HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville. Brian Morozak alongside Jerry Dupé. Thank you for joining us here on the South Union Township Sports Network, whether you're watching on Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, or on YouTube as well. If you're not on YouTube, you can find all of our broadcasts archived on YouTube. Just search South Union Television. And ready on demand anytime you'd like to watch them. So Jared Dempsey at the plate. He had an infield single and scored a run back in the first inning. Part of a 5-run first for the Mets, but he'll swing and miss here at the first pitch from Christian Little. Counted 0-1. Now Little's 0-1 to Dempsey. Dempsey fouls that one back, counted 0-2. The Mets appear to be cruising in this game after scoring 5 runs in the bottom half of the first inning and adding 2 in the bottom half of the second inning. But the Kissel squad from Connellsville adding 3 in the top half of the third to keep themselves in this game. The Mets still looking for an answer back, but now Jared Dempsey, 2 strikes on him, and the 0-2 from Christian Little is high as the count now moves to 1-2. And you can't ask for a better night for Pony League baseball action here at the Mulholland Field. Bright sunny skies, not a cloud in the sky. The sun will begin to set over the next hour or so, and there's a ball sent down the left field line, just foul by Jared Dempsey. Count remains at 1-2. Ball thrown back in there to Christian Little. A wind and fire, the 1-2 again, which this time is outside to Jared Dempsey. Count now even at 2-2. Now the 2-2 pitch. High, and we'll go full of 3-2. If you look at this Mulholland Field here at Hutchinson, really not a short part of this ballpark. 308 down the left field line, 309 to the alley and left, and 310 to straightaway center field. You have a little more of a chance to send it down the right side. 303 to right center and 296 down the right field line as Dempsey strikes out. First out recorded here in the bottom half of the third inning. Now Matt Dudley will come to the plate. He picked up an RBI, grounding out 3 unassisted back in the first inning. And the first pitch here, a swing and a miss out of Dudley, and they counted 0-1. See a lot of folks out there utilizing the track in the outfield here at the Mulholland Field on this beautiful late spring day. That one nubbed, hopping past a little over to Jamison McPoyle, and safe at first is Matt Dudley. So Dudley, and excuse me, infield single. He'll take it. Getting a nice little bounce there in the infield. The ball bouncing to the right of Little. By the time it got to McPoyle, he had no play on it. So the Mets with a base runner with Dalton Stanzik coming to the plate. And with Little seemingly not really even paying attention, Matt Dudley runs down to second. No throw made at all out of Christian Little. The Mets have been aggressive on the base path so far in this game, and that trend continues. We'll see if Dudley runs again here on Little. Little glance back to the bag at second. First pitch inside to Dalton Stanzik, hopping away again from Matt Onesco, and down to third is Matt Dudley. So Dudley picking up an infield single, then catching the Kissel squad napping, getting to second, and getting down to third as the ball hopped away from Matt Onesco. The next pitch to Dalton Stanzik, and Stanzik goes after that one and sends it in the gap in right center. Dudley will easily score on the play. So an RBI single to right center field for Dalton Stanzik. A run scored for Matt Dudley. It's now 8-3. The HARC Mets over the Connellsville Kissel squad. And that might be it for Christian Little. Connellsville bringing the infield in. That's going to be it. We'll have a new pitcher for the Connellsville Kissel squad when we come back. It's an 8-3 lead for the Mets over Connellsville as we work here in the bottom half of the third inning on the South Union Township Sports Network. Back here at the Mulholland Field, still working here in the bottom half of the third inning. New pitcher for the Kissel squad from Connellsville, it's Jake Pearl. Pearl was playing second base. Seth Coons, who was playing first, moves over from first to second, and Christian Little, who was pitching, now playing first. Parker Georgiana on the mound now, Parker Georgiana now at the plate for the HARC Mets, with Dalton Stanzik on first. One out here in the bottom half of the third inning. One run already across. It's 8-3 Mets. Now showing bunt, pulling back, but the pitch in there to Georgiana for a strike from Jake Pearl. Georgiana grounded out, 3 unassisted to end the first inning. And Pearl's next pitch here to Georgiana, and Georgiana chasing after that one. Counting out 1-2. The only out recorded so far this inning was then pitcher Christian Little striking out Jarrett Dempsey. 1-2 here, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Georgiana strikes out. Now 2 away with Dante Delverne coming to the plate. Delverne flew out to Jamison McPoyle, the shortstop, to start the second inning. Now facing Jake Pearl here. They'll take the first pitch for a strike, counted 0-1. Long look in there from Pearl. 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Now 2 strikes on Dante Delverne. Oh, 2 swing and a miss, strike 3. So Pearl comes into the game and gets the job done, striking out Parker Georgiana and Dante Delverne to win the bottom half of the third inning. So we'll head to the top of the fourth with the HARC Mets now leading the Kissel squad from Connellsville by a score of 8-3 here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Anemia occurs when one has a low number of blood cells and becomes weak, tired, and pale. Blood loss anemia warrants a careful exam of the digestive tract with traditional GI scopes and sometimes with pill scope technology. Doctors Ruthart, Calabrese, Stokes, and Ballou offer the latest diagnostic testing for blood loss anemia. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Heading now to the top half of the fourth inning, an 8-3 lead for the HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville. A couple of defensive changes for the HARC Mets. Kenny Lewis, who was playing first base, now pitching, switching positions with Garrett Myers. Myers now playing first base. Dalton Stanzik back playing second base. He took an inning off. And Dante Delverne, who was playing second base in the last inning, now taking Parker Georgiana's spot out there in right field. So the Mets trying to buckle up defensively after they allowed 3 runs to the Kissel squad from Connellsville in the top half of the third inning. And here, Brandon McLaughlin takes ball 1 inside, facing Kenny Lewis. McLaughlin was a strikeout victim of Garrett Myers back in the second inning. Now Lewis is 1-0, brings the heat right down the middle for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. It's Brandon McLaughlin, Tyler Fasella, and Jamison McPoyle due up for the Kissel squad from Connellsville here in the top half of the fourth inning. Now Lewis is 1-1 to McLaughlin, swing and a miss, strike 2. Now 2 strikes on Brandon McLaughlin. The Kissel squad from Connellsville sent 7 men to the plate in the top half of the third inning, scoring 3 runs. And now the 1-2 on the way, breaking ball, high and inside, ducking out of that one. Brandon McLaughlin, count now even at 2-2. Now Lewis is 2-2, brings the heat, and that one fouled off the inside of McLaughlin's bat. And the count will remain at 2-2. And the 2-2 again, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Lewis sends down Brandon McLaughlin, the second time McLaughlin struck out in this game, and we have an out recorded here in the top half of the fourth inning, with Tyler Fasella coming to the plate. Fasella also struck out for the Kissel squad back in the second inning. Lewis's first pitch to Fasella here, right down the pipe for another strike, 0-1. And Lewis looking very composed, coming in for Garrett Myers here to start this top half of the fourth inning. Now the 0-1 on the way, and this ball well hit in the gap in left center field on his horses, Jared Dempsey. That ball all the way back to the wall. Rounding second now, on his way to third is Fasella. The ball just coming in, and Fasella with a stand-up triple. Now the ball getting away here, but bouncing off the fence here on the near side. And they're going to allow Fasella to score on the play. Will go in the books as a triple and a throwing error for Tyler Fasella. But nonetheless, it goes in the books as another run scored for the Kissel squad from Connellsville, so they get another run back. And it's now 8-4. On the top of the order up, and Jamison McPoyle. And Lewis brings the heat and finds the strike zone on the first pitch to McPoyle, counted 0-1. Now working quickly is Lewis, 0-1, fouled off there by McPoyle. Count now at 0-2. McPoyle walked and was picked off back in the first inning, doubled to center field and scored a run in the third inning. This is third plate appearance of the game, coming here in the top half of the fourth inning. Now he has 2 strikes on him. And the 0-2 pitch, a breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. They're going to have to make the throw down to first to officially record the strikeout, and they do. And now 2 away here in the top half of the fourth. And Matt Onesko will come to the plate. Onesko's reached base safely in both of his plate appearances so far. Was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Singled to right field and scored a run in the third inning. First time facing Kenny Lewis here. The first pitch from Lewis. Fastball right down the pipe for another strike. And boy, when Lewis wants to bring the heat. Those fastballs very impressive. 0-1, another fastball, but this ball roped into right field. This will be a hit for Matt Onesko. Onesko rounding first, but he'll go back to the bag. A single to right field for Matt Onesko. Second hit of the inning for the Kissel squad from Connellsville. And Connellsville with a two-out base runner now, and Matt Onesko with Jake Pearl coming to the plate. Pearl single to left field, picked up an RBI and scored a run last time up. In his first plate appearance of the game, he flew out to then first baseman Kenny Lewis, who now he's facing on the mound. Lewis looking back now at Onesko. We'll see how aggressive the Kissel squad gets in this inning, down by 4. They've had their base running problems so far in this game. We mentioned McPoyle getting picked off back in the first inning. Coons was also caught in a run down back in the third inning. And Christian Little twice came very close to getting picked off as well later on in that inning. Another big pitch there for a strike from Kenny Lewis to Jake Pearl. Lewis is 0-1. And Pearl, a little nubber here, just going foul down the third base line. Now 2 strikes on Jake Pearl. Now the 0-2. And Pearl, hard chopper here to short. Gesk makes the play, throw over to first in time to retire Pearl. 6-3. Tough play there from Alex Gesk, but he gets it done on the throw over to Garrett Myers. But the Connellsville Kissel squad picks up another run. We're halfway home with the Mets leading the Connellsville Kissel squad by a score of 8-4 here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths. Signs include abdominal pain and rectal bleeding. Colon cancer develops from a degenerating benign growth or polyp. Doctors performing colonoscopy are able to remove precancerous polyps, thus preventing colon cancer. This saves lives, and the American Cancer Society now recommends that everyone have a colonoscopy every 10 years, beginning at age 50. Doctors Ruthart, Calabrese, Stokes, and Ballou offer the latest diagnostic testing. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Top of the order, due up for the Mets here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Kevin Zaron, Alex Gesk, and Kenny Lewis. The Mets with an 8-4 lead over the Kissel squad from Connellsville. The Mets have scored at least 1 run in every inning so far, playing 5 in the bottom half of the first inning, 2 in the bottom half of the second. and adding a run in the bottom half of the third. Now seeing their second pitcher of the game. Now facing Jake Pearl, who came on in relief of Christian Little back in that third inning. And Kevin Zayron here takes ball one inside from Pearl. Zayron singled to right center field and scored a run back in the first inning. Struck out looking back in the second inning. 1-0 pitch here. Again misses inside. Count now at 2-0. Pearl to Zayron. Now the 2-0 pitch, and Zayron a little nubber here. Well, one hop over to the second baseman, Seth Coons, who makes a hard throw over to Christian Little at first to retire Kevin Zayron 4-3, but that anything but routine. Well, the out still recorded. And one away here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Now Alex Guest coming to the plate. Guest 1 for 2 in this game. Lined out to Jamison McPoyle back in the first inning, then tripled to right field and scored a run in the second inning. He'll take the first pitch here outside for ball one. And the 1-0 ruled a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. And Bernie Maniac calling the balls and strikes in this game. Chuck Pillar, the base umpire. One here. Inside, almost clipping Alex Guest. Count now at 2-1. Two one on the way, high and outside. Count now 3-1. Mets looking for a base runner here in the bottom half of the fourth. 3-1 pitch, and they'll get one right here. As Alex Guest walks. Now Kenny Lewis will come to the plate. The Mets have been very aggressive on the base paths so far in this game. Expect the trend to continue here. I'm sure Jake Pearl will have his eye on Alex Guest. Now Kenny Lewis at the plate. Throw over to first and Guest back safely. Another check of the runner. Jake Pearl, very aware of what's already been attempted and accomplished by the Mets on the base path so far in this contest. Now Guest on his way, pitch to Lewis, and Lewis chops it foul, so Guest will have to make his way back to first. We haven't even seen too many throws out of the Kissel squad from Connellsville on the attempted steals by the Mets so far in this game. They've pretty much let the Mets do what they wanted to do on the base paths. That's why the Mets have really been able to make magic happen when they've gotten guys on base. Count now 0-1. Pearl to Lewis. Sun beginning to set. Holding up this time is Guest. Pitch was high. Count now even at 1-1. That pitch maybe a little high on purpose, just expecting Guest to maybe go and allow Onesco to have a throw at it. This time he's running and no throw from Onesco. So Guest getting down to second uncontested. And he's in scoring position. As Kenny Lewis continues his at-bat at the plate. Next pitch to Lewis. He'll take that one low and outside. And we're 3-1 on the counts. Long shadows now on the infield. We've seen the sun play a little havoc out there already so far this afternoon into the early evening hours. 3-1 pitch on the way. Lewis went a chase into that one. Count now full 3-2. Lewis picked up an RBI double back in the first inning, reached via an error and scored a run in the second inning. Count now full here at 3-2. Facing Jake Pearl. The 3-2 pitch on the way, and Lewis stays alive, fouling it off on the right side. Mets trying to extend their lead. It's at 8-4 right now. Mets scoring 5 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. And after getting shut out in the first 2 innings of the game, the Kissel squad from Connellsville picking up 3 in the top half of the third and adding a run in the top half of the fourth. That's where we sit right now at 8-4. Payoff pitch to Kenny Lewis, and Lewis again fouls it off on the right side. She went above the screen and out of play, and now the catcher Onesco trying to knock out that ball that was caught in the fence a couple of innings ago. Might be short on balls at this juncture of the game. It's maybe why they need that ball. And they found one ball that's playable. The other one's still lodged up there. And they're trying to find another ball in the parking lot. So to recap again, the count's still full to Kenny Lewis, with 1 out here in the inning. And a runner on second. Payoff pitch again. Lewis hard chopper here. Knocking it down is McPoyle. Doesn't have a play on it. He does, though, hold Alex Gesk at second base. So give Lewis an infield single. His second hit of the game. Now runners on first and second with 1 out, and Garrett Myers coming to the plate. The lefty Myers singled to right field and scored a run in the first inning. Walked in the second inning. The Mets will try to extend their 4-run lead here with runners on first and second and 1 out. And the first pitch missing outside to Myers. And we'll see if the Mets put the base runners in motion here with 1 out in the inning. As we work here in the meat of this Mets batting order. Now a little throw back, but no one covering third. It was an opportunity for Connellsville to potentially get Geskin a run down. But the throw not made there from McPoyle down to Billy Metz at third. So that allows Gesk to get down to third. Now runners on the corners. And Myers at the plate. And Pearl's first pitch to Myers is high. And jogging down to second now is Kenny Lewis. So the aggressive base running again has the Mets with runners, 2 runners now in scoring position. Lewis at third and Gesk at second. And a 1-0 count to Garrett Myers. And a 1-0 pitch in there for a strike to even it up at 1-1. Pearl to Myers. Again, we're here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And the score 8-4. Mets in front of the Connellsville Kissel squad. Count out 2-1 as that last pitch missed there to Myers. Two-1 on the way. Actually, must have been 3-1. I missed one along the way. Nonetheless, a walk issued to Garrett Myers to load the bases. Now Creed Potkel coming to the plate. The last 3 Mets have reached base safely. Gesk via the walk. Infield single from Lewis. Now Myers walking and the bases loaded for Creed Potkel. And the Mets an opportunity here to blow this game wide open. Infield now in for the Kissel squad defensively. And get the force out at home. First pitch to Potkel, and Potkel, hard ground ball there to McPoyle, who steps on second for one. Throw over to first, and they get the double play to end the inning, 6-4-3. So great defense out of the Connellsville Kissel squad with a bases loaded. Potkel grounding into a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning, and no damage done. So after 4, the score remains the HARC Mets 8 and the Connellsville Kissel squad 4 as we head to the top half of the 5th here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Just sit right down and you hear a tale of a fateful call. You better pay those bills right now or you take a mighty fall. He really didn't know what to do, so he turned to those who did. Zeppeli, Mahalev, and White, your bankruptcy crew, your bankruptcy crew. So no matter how deep in debt you are, if your back's against the wall, Zeppeli, Mahalev, and White, just give them a call.
The South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbauer, would like to wish all the HARC baseball players good luck and have a fun baseball season this year.
Heading down to the top half of the 5th inning, this game's still very competitive. The Connellsville Kissel squad working their way back into this contest, down only 4 at 8-4 after they trailed early on by a score of 7-0. They have Seth Coons, Gage Goodwin, and Christian Little coming to the plate here in the top half of the 5th inning, facing Kenny Lewis, who misses well high on the first pitch to Seth Coons. Count at 1-0. Coons walked back in the first inning, singled to center field, and picked up a pair of RBIs in the 3rd inning before he was picked off. 1-0 pitch from Lewis, again high. Count out 2-0. Lewis a little out of control here to start the top half of the 5th. 2-0 pitch. This is high and inside. Count out 3-0 to Seth Coons. Now the 3-0, another fastball. This one finding the strike zone. Count of 3-1. Another pitch in there for a strike. Coons thought he had ball 4. Or full of 3-2. Coons a one-game addition to the Kissel squad. Normally plays for the Pleasant Trucking Connellsville Pony team. And swings here at the 3-2 and sends it foul on the right side. Count remains 3-2. Things cooling off a little bit with the sun pretty much behind the trees in left field. Payoff pitch, high and inside for ball 4. So Coons gets his walk to lead off the inning. And the Kissel squad showing a lot of heart as they continue to fight back. Down 8-4 with now a runner on and nobody out here in the top half of the 5th inning. Gage Goodwin coming to the plate. And a quick check of the runner, and Coons back safely. Quick move there from Lewis, trying to catch Coons off guard. First pitch here to Goodwin, nubbed foul. Counted 0-1. Another check of the runner. Gonna head for a slide from Seth Coons. Another pitch high and inside, and getting away there from the catcher, Creed Potkel. That will allow Coons to get down to second. There's still nobody out as we work here in the top half of the fifth. Another one fouled off there from Goodwin. But don't be surprised if we see the lights starting to come on soon with the sun pretty much behind the trees out there in left field. And we'll throw over to second and into center field. And here's Coons trying to make his way down to third, and that throw wide. So the Kissel squad from Connellsville trying to give the HARC Mets a little dose of their own medicine. Coons now down to third. Still nobody out here in the top half of the fifth. Next pitch to Goodwin, high and inside again. This game far from being over, only here in the top half of the fifth. And there's the punch out of Goodwin for the first out of the inning. Mets certainly needing that defensively. Now Christian Little will come to the plate. Little struck out swinging in the second inning, walked in the third inning. This is third plate appearance of the evening. Swings and misses the first pitch here from Lewis, who suddenly looks a little recomposed again. Lewis a little glance over at Coons down at third. No one pitch here, another fastball. Missing low. Did skip away there from Potkel. Was able to regain. No damage done. And they count at 1-1. One to Little. Swing and a miss, strike two. So Lewis getting it done himself. Trying to get the Mets out of this inning with no damage done. 1-2 pitch here to Little is high. Count now at 2-2. What's been impressive from Lewis is that fastball, plenty of speed. Has to maintain the control. 2-2 on the way. This one low. Count now at 3-2. It's one thing to bring the heat, but you have to consistently find the strike zone as well. Payoff pitch, and there for strike three. So Lewis with back-to-back backwards Ks, sending down Goodwin and Little, and now two outs here in the top half of the fifth, with Billy Metz coming to the plate. Metz walked back in the second inning, struck out swinging in the third. First pitch here from Lewis is low for ball one. Outside. Getting a friendly bounce, though, was Creed Potkel. Remaining at third is Seth Coons. Count, though, now 2-0 to Billy Metz. The 2-0 pitch, again missing high. Count now 3-0. Lewis to Metz. First base open and two outs here in the top half of the fifth. And there's ball four. So now runners on the corners, and so far in this top half of the fifth inning, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. And Brandon McLaughlin will be the 5th Connellsville Kissel player to bat here in the top half of the fifth. And now no throw down to second. I think they could have got Metz there. They let him go. That was jogging down, only about halfway down when that throw came back. But no attempted throw down to second. Lewis, though, finds the strike zone on that pitch to McLaughlin. Now back-to-back strikes for Kenny Lewis. And McLaughlin has to protect the plate with 2 outs here in the inning. Runners on second and third. Score still at 8-4. And there's your strike 3. So an inning that's a pair of walks and runners stranded at second and third. But Kenny Lewis picking up 3 strikeouts and the score remaining 8-4. The HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville as we head to the bottom half of the 5th here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank. At your service.
To 4, the HARC Mets over the Connellsville Kissel squad as we move to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Line drive over the head of Billy Metz in the left field. Jarrett Dempsey with a leadoff single for the HARC Mets here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. As they try to extend their lead, sitting now at 8-4. Matt Dudley due up next. Dudley picked up an RBI on a ground ball back in the first inning. Had an infield single and scored a run in the 3rd inning. Swings at the first pitch here, chops it right back up the middle into center field. Well, that ball well positioned. Past Jake Pearl and in between Jamison McPoyle and Seth Coons. So back-to-back hits to start the bottom half of the 5th inning for the HARC Mets. Now Dalton Stanzik coming to the plate. Stanzik 2 for 2 in this game. Has picked up 3 RBIs already, 2 in the first inning on a single. And a single to right center field in the 3rd inning. He netted another RBI. He'll stand in here with nobody out and runners on first and second. Another opportunity for the Mets to blow open this game. They had the bases loaded with 1 out in the 4th inning before Creed Potkel hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. And there, Dalton Stanzik goes chasing at the first pitch from Jake Pearl. That would have been high for ball 1. Now a little check of the runner. Sliding back safely there is Matt Dudley. That pitch inside evens the count at 1-1 to Dalton Stanzik. Jake Pearl taking his time. A little glance back there. In the stretch. Next pitch. Swing and a miss out of Stanzik. And they count at 1-2. Stanzik now bouncing back into the box. 1-2, and Stanzik a little line drive here, 1 hop, and a double play recorded. Another heads-up play from Jamison McPoyle, touching out the lead runner there, Jarrett Dempsey, and then getting Matt Dudley over at second. So a rare 6-4 double play. Now 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th. And Parker Georgiana coming to the plate. Fouls off the first pitch. You really credit McPoyle for the 2 double plays we saw. The 6-4-3 DP'd in the 4th. And this one coming in a big spot with 2 runners on and nobody out here in the 5th. Runner going here, and a nice save behind the bag at second by Seth Coons on that wide throw from Matt Onesco. That ball heads into center field. Dalton Stanczyk's down to third. Next pitch to Georgiana, swing and a miss, strike 3. So once again, the Kissel squad from Connellsville managing to get their way out of an inning. No damage done again. We'll head to the top half of the 6th, still 8-4 the HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank. At your service.
A number of defensive changes for the Mets as we come back for the top half of the 6th inning. I'll pass those along in just a moment. At the plate is Tyler Fasella for the Kissel squad from Connellsville. He takes strike 1. Of course, Fasella, the triple to left, ended up scoring a run on the throwing error last time up back in the 4th inning. That was the last run we had scored on either side so far in this game. Count out 1-1. Alex Gesk is the new pitcher for the Mets. Now 2 strikes on Tyler Fasella. Now Gesk will wind and fire the 1-2 here. There's your swing and a miss, strike 3. And just like that, 1 out recorded here in the top half of the 6th inning. But Gesk now pitching. Kenny Lewis, who was on the mound, now playing shortstop. Jarrett Dempsey and Matt Dudley again switch positions. It's Dempsey now playing third. Dudley back out in left field. Dalton Stanczyk, who was playing second base, now out in center field. And Creed Potkel was catching, now playing second base. And Kevin Zayron was out in center field. He's now catching. So all kinds of changes for the Mets. And with the sun now setting, have uniforms that more look like PennDOT workers than the Mets, but they're really glowing out there. And Jamison McPoyle, who's had a stellar game defensively for the Kissel squad from Connellsville, now at the plate. He's reached base safely in 2 of 3 plate appearances. A walk back in the first, a double to center field along with scoring a run in the 3rd inning. Did strike out swinging back in the 4th inning. Now trying to get aboard to help the Kissel squad out here in their rally back in the 6th. But he'll strike out just like Tyler Fasella did to lead off the inning. Credit Alex Gesk. He comes into the game and gets back-to-back strikeouts. And now Matt Onesco coming to the plate. First pitch from Gesk to Onesco, and this one is chopped to Kenny Lewis at short. Throw over to first in time, beating out the speedy Matt Onesco for the 3rd out of the inning. So 1-2-3 top half of the 6th inning. The score remains 8-4. The HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville as we head to the bottom of the 6th here on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Southwestern Endoscopy Center is a state-licensed and Medicare-certified facility and emphasizes privacy, comfort, caring, and safety. for colonoscopies and upper GI endoscopies. Painless procedures are done with twilight sedation given by a board-certified anesthesiologist. The center accepts most insurance plans and is staffed by Doctors Ruthhart, Calabrese, Stokes, and Ballou. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Back here for the bottom half of the sixth inning, the HARC Mets hoping this is the last time they have to come to the plate. Dante Delverne, Kevin Zaron, and Alex Gesk due up. Delverne to lead things off. He's 0 for 2 so far in this game. Facing Jake Pearl here, and this game has really settled in. It's 8-4. Heading to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Haven't had a run scored since, but Delverne. A little hit here to left field to lead off the inning. Bouncing in front of Brandon McLaughlin. So leadoff single for Delverne, his first hit of the evening. The Mets in business. Kevin Zaron now coming to the plate. Zaron 1 for 3 in this game. Takes the first pitch here high for ball 1. Zaron a single to right center field and scored a run back in the first inning. Struck out in the second inning and grounded out 4-3 back in the fourth inning. 1-0 here. Zaron pops this one up on the left side into foul territory and out of play.
Let it go! Let it go! Let it go!
Count at 1-1. And Zaron ready to go. A 1-1 pitch from Pearl. Misses low and outside. Count now at 2-1. And Zaron with a shot fair down the right field line. Rounding second on his way to third is Delverne. Be a stand-up double for Kevin Zaron. As the Mets look for a little bit of insurance, they still have a 4-run lead. Wouldn't mind adding a few runs to that total. Here in the bottom half of the sixth, still nobody out, and Alex Gesk coming to the plate. Gesk 1 for 2 with a walk in this game. They hit a triple to right field back in the second inning. Also scored a run and stole a base in this contest so far. Check of the runner, and back safely there is Kevin Zaron. The first pitch to Gesk is outside. Ball 1. Now the 1-0. And there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1 to Alex Gesk. That pitch low and outside. Now 2-1. Pearl to Gesk. This one popped up. Should be a routine play, and it is. Catch made there by Pearl. First out recorded in his bottom half of the sixth inning. Now Kenny Lewis will come to the plate. Lewis has reached base safely in all 3 of his plate appearances. An RBI double in the first inning, scored a run, reached via an error and scored a run in the second inning, and added an infield single in the fourth. Steps in here with runners on second and third and 1 out. And the Mets up 8-4. Swings of the first pitch here and a line drive over the head of Brandon McLaughlin. Back to the wall will be the center fielder Gage Goodwin, who will haul it in. Lewis on his way to third. And he'll have a stand-up triple and pick up 2 RBIs in the process, driving in Dante Delverne and Kevin Zaron. So a triple in the left center field for Kenny Lewis and 2 RBIs. Now 3 RBIs in this game for Lewis. Garrett Myers coming to the plate, takes strike 1 from Jake Pearl. The lead now extended to 10-4 in favor of the HARC Mets over the Kissel squad from Connellsville. That pitch missing to Myers. Count now even at 1-1. Those runs scored by Zaron and Delverne, the first runs we've seen scored by the Mets since the bottom half of the third inning. They now have a healthy 6-run lead as Myers takes strike 2, count now at 1-2. Now the 1-2 on the way, just misses low, evens the count at 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Myers fouls it back. Count remains 2-2. Scoreboard actually incorrect right now, showing 9-4, actually 10-4. With 2 runs coming across in this inning. Now the count full to Garrett Myers. That pitch inside for ball 4. So Myers works his way back into the count, draws his 3rd walk of the game, has actually now drawn walks in his last 3 plate appearances in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th innings. Now runners on the corner, still 1 out in the inning, and Creed Potko coming to the plate. First pitch to Potko, and Potko pops it up here in the infield, and the play made by the second baseman Seth Kuntz. Throw over to first, in time, another double play. Recorded by the Kissel squad from Connellsville. That one goes into the books as a 4-3 double play. Off the fly out from Potkel. Second double play Potkel's hit into in this game. In the 3rd straight inning, the Connellsville has turned to double play to at least lessen the damage here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. But the Mets lead now up to 10-4 over Connellsville, and the Kissel squad down to their final 3 outs when we come back on the South Union Township Sports Network. As we come back here on the South Union Township Sports Network, they have called this game after 6 innings. So your final score, the HARC Mets 10 and the Kissel squad from Connellsville 4. Tonight's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Jerry Dupay. Your final score, the Hark Mets 10 and the Kissel Squad from Connellsville 4. This has been a South Union Township Sports Network presentation.